Okay, welcome everybody. This is a short demo I'm going to give about some of the features that we're offering, Euphoria is offering for our new product Symvol. This is our first modeling product to reach the market, hopefully soon. It's in beta right now, and it's for a plugin for Rhinoceros. So you can see Rhinoceros here. This is a cup I've drawn, a very simple body of a cup I've drawn in our system. Over here you see a construction graph along with this bookmarks tab, and this construction graph has a kind of tree of the object, and that's only something you'd see if you have our plugin installed, and of course the volume menu, because we work exclusively in volumes. So that's also from our plugin. So what I'm going to do is just sort of start out slowly and give you an idea of some of the things that we can do. Some of the sort of standard things, and then I'll move towards some really maybe more interesting features. So let's start with a couple of tori. We'll do, say, a smaller one. At the bottom here, I'm making a handle for the cup, maybe a slightly unusual handle, or a little bit sort of a kind of interesting handle. Hopefully, we'll see here. Okay, maybe the bottom one should be a little different in its shape and size. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Take a look at the properties on that. The big radius, let's move it to 3. And yeah, that looks pretty good. I guess we could make these both, maybe let's say 1.7. Yeah, something like that. And I can make the other one the same. So 1.7. Okay, and then let's move that in a bit. So you can use a lot of the standard Rhino commands are available with our system. So you can use move, for example, and array, and mirror, and things like that. We also export meshes to Rhino if you like what you've done and later want to send it back to Rhino to play with. I'll show you that a little bit later. So, so we've got a kind of interesting looking handle here. Let's go ahead and do a union. So I'm going to show you something that is sort of something you normally wouldn't see in another package. So blending union. So we're going to select 2 objects, and then we're going to enter some parameters for the kind of blend we want. We really want this blend to be a bit sort of thick, I think. We want them sort of really blend together, so let's put an 8 in there. And 1, and see, there we go. So if you zoom into that, you can see we've blended those 2 objects together in a kind of nice fashion. They need to stick into the glass a little bit more, it looks like to me, so I'll just grab that object, and we can move it in a bit. So if we use ortho on, I'll just slide it into the cup a bit more. And if we take a look, okay, something like that, that looks pretty good. Of course it's sticking out, I believe, on the inside, so we can trim that. Sort of standard fashion, we'll take a cylinder, 0, 0, and get right there next to the edge of the cup to trim it off. Using ortho again, and then if we do AV subtraction, now of course you can not only use the command menus that we have, but you can use the command line as you can anything else in Rhino. And there we go. Subtract the 2. So that should no longer be shown inside the cup, and indeed it's gone now. You can see the dynamic rendering we have here. This dynamic rendering is part of our system, so we handle this in real time. That means that no matter what kind of features you put, or microstructures, since we also allow for microstructures, you're able to zoom into the object in infinite resolution. So infinitely, just zoom in and you'll find more features as you do that, if you've put them there. So you can see we've sort of got the handle here. Let's go ahead and union that to the cup, and again we'll do a blending union. So we choose the cup body, and we choose the handle, and again let's put a sort of large value. We'll do 10 this time, just to really get it to blend into the surface. And you can see over here we have new contours showing that blend. and we've got it blended as well. Well, maybe that's a bit much. So let's go in and take a look at that and back off. I think we put a bit too much blend on that. So let's try 5 instead. Okay, that's a bit better. So now what I would like to show you is we're going to take this cup and we're going to turn it into something a little bit different looking, or a lot different looking, hopefully. I've got some parameters on this cup that we can play with here. So let's see what happens when we do that. We take a look at the, okay, so if we come down to the warp area, yeah, we've got a couple of tapers here. So what I can do is I can go to those tapers and I can add a scale. So if you notice right now they're 1-to-1 scale, but if we just increase that a little bit, that will change dramatically. I think this is the direction we want to go. Oh, indeed. Let's see what we did here. Oh, it's the wrong direction. Hold on one second. We'll just flip that around. So, because we want to make a kind of picture-like object, I think would be ideal. So we just flip that around a bit. And then on the other taper, we sort of want to make it like thinner on one side, right, and thicker on the other, or sort of in a conical shape. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. If we do the upper scale, should be again maybe a 5. Let's see what we get. Okay, so now we're starting to get an interesting shape. It's more like a picture. And you'll notice the handle now has gotten a bit lost, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So if we rotate this around, and of course we don't have a lip on this yet, but I have a warp point that we've placed into this model, and we can add some deformations there. So let me slide out the window here. And if we extend that radius that we've got there, so let's extend the effects of the warp point to say 10, and we'll put the hardness as 0.1. Yeah, that'll work. That'll produce an interesting result. Let's see what we get here. So you can see we've simply told this now to actually warp and produce a lip on the object. So now we've got something looking like interesting picture anyway. What we can do now though is we've still got this handle sort of sticking inside. So let's go find that. That should be right here, and we can move that after the fact. So if we just click here and use ortho again, we should get a new handle placement. Let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, indeed we did. And of course we can even affect the handle, maybe the handle's a bit thick. So if we want to even affect things like the thickness of the handle, we can come in here, for instance, and in the Y scale, we can scale this down to say 0.7 to make it a little bit thinner. Maybe something you can grab a bit easier. And there you go. So that's a short demonstration of just how fast we can move in our system, and the kinds of modifications, sort of radical modifications you can make very quickly. All right, thank you very much.